Let's pray. Mighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of and trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just, faithful a manner as to promote our honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Sergeant Atam, ring the quorum bell for the first 5 minutes. Kindly ring the quorum bell for further 5 minutes. To speak or designate one member to go and whip the members. You can designate one member to go and whip them.
Honorable Speaker, I want to delegate to Honorable Nyauke to whip members from the lounge.
Yeah. As Honorable Nyauke is going to whip members, no member should leave the chambers except Honorable Nyauke. Yes, Honorable Jauke, kindly confirm if you have quorum. Be on the answered. Honorable Jauke, be on the answered.
Mr. Speaker, we have quorum.
Take us through the order of the day.
The third assembly, fourth session, order paper number 299 of today, Thursday, 15th May 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I want to request that immediately after this session, we remain behind for a small consultative meeting that will not take more than 10 minutes. So please, after the session, remain behind. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, sir, Honorable Omnyoke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to provisions of order number 182/6 of the standing orders, I wish to table today on behalf of our chairman, today, Thursday, 15th May 2025, report of the implementation committee on the implementation status of House resolutions on the report of the PICPAC committee on its consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022.
The report on the implementation status of House resolutions on the report of PICPAC committee on its consideration of the Auditor General report on the financial statement of the Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022 is properly laid before the House on behalf of the Select Committee on Implementation. I want to direct that the House Business Committee considers scheduling this report for debate. Yes, sir, Honorable Nancy Matara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to the provision order number 182/6 of the standing orders, I wish to table today, Thursday, 15th May 2025, report of the Powers and Privileges Committee benchmarking on the benchmarking exercise with Nairobi County Assembly.
Honorable members, the Select Committee on Powers and Privileges report on their benchmarking exercise with the Nairobi City County Assembly is properly laid for the House. And as per our resolutions earlier, report with no recommendations requiring by the members is only laid. I want to request that the members can access that report for any consumption where appropriate. Yes, the Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to table today, Thursday, 15th May 2025, report of the selection committee on the benchmarking exercise with Western Kisumu County Assembly. Thank you.
Honorable members, the committee on selection report on the benchmark exercise with the County Assembly was negotiated is properly laid before the House. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Nyauke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of my chairman and pursuant to provisions of order number 45(1) of the standing orders, this House adopts a report of the implementation committee on the implementation status of House resolutions on the report of the PICPAC committee on its consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Statement time. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, second reading of the Kisumu County Assembly Bill 2024 by the Honorable Karen Odhiambo.
I have information or request from the Honorable Karen Odhiambo that her deputy, the Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority, Honorable Mumbawade, will be proceeding the same on her behalf. So, Honorable Mumbawade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as the deputy or the vice chair of the committee, I'm standing in, as you said, for Honorable Karen Odhiambo, who is the chair. Mr. Speaker, I rise on a notice of amendment. The notice is given that the chairperson.
Order, Honorable Lumumba. We are on the order on second reading of a bill.
It's a minute. Honorable Speaker, I stand guided. Mr. Speaker, allow me therefore to call the clerk to read the second reading. Thank you.
Yeah, the clerk, you are requested to read the bill for the second time.
The Kisumu County Assembly Bill 2024, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Kisumu to give effect to Section 161 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 to provide for the imposition of cess on agricultural produce within the county and for connected purposes. The bill is now read for the second time.
Yes, Honorable Lumumba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker rise to read the Kisumu County
Honorable Lumumba, approach the clerk. Let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to move the whole House conferred to, Mr. Speaker, it's Kisumu County Cess Bill 2024. Kisumu County Bills number 4 of 2024.
Order, Honorable Lumumba. You approach the chair with the clerk. Yes, sir. Honorable Lumumba, proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for members who are consulting and you have consulted, and now we are able to move. Thank you for your indulgences. Honorable Speaker, I want to move that this Honorable House converts to the committee of the whole House. Thank you.
It's been moved that the committee converts the committee of the whole house. As per our standing order, that one requires no question. So, Chair, approach your table, and I hope you will be able to work on the amendments as appropriate.
Honorable members, can I please call this meeting to order? Maybe through a word of prayer. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this county. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Honorable members, the committee is convening to deliberate on the second reading of the Kisumu County Sales Bill 2024. And so I'll suggest, I'll start off by quoting standing order number 126, where we'll decide on which way to go as we discuss the bill. And it states that in considering a bill in committee, the various parts thereof shall be considered in the following sequence. A, the clauses as printed, including the clauses providing for the citation of the bill, and the commencement, if any, and the interpretation. B, new clauses. C, schedules. D, new schedules. E, interpretation. F, preamble, if any. Then we have the long title and the clauses providing for order, honorable members. And the clauses providing for the citation of the bill and the commencement. So, honorable members, I'd like to propose if we go the guillotine way or we go the clause. I'll therefore request Honorable Lumumba Wade to give a suggestion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise to propose the guillotine way and hereby ask Madam Regina, Honorable Regina, to second.
Yes, Honorable Regina.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I second. Madam Chair, sorry, I second.
Honorable members, we already have a proposal for the way to go, and I'll put a question that as many as of the opinion that we go the guillotine way say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. So we'll go the guillotine way. And so we'll start off by from page, we'll start off from the short title that is on page 2 of the bill. I hope you all have your copies. That is page 2, where we have the short title. I'll read the short title. That is the Kisumu County Sales Bill 2024. I'd like to call Honorable Lumumba Wade to let us know if there's any change, and call your member to second.
There is no change in paragraph 1.
Honorable members, I'd like to put a question on that. How many, as many of the opinion that the short title remain as the Kisumu County Sales Bill 2024, say aye. Contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. The title remains, the short title remains as the Kisumu County Sales Bill 2024. And the long title, which I'll read, a bill
for an act of the County Assembly of Kisumu to give effect to Section 161 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 to provide for the imposition of cess on agricultural produce within the county and for connected purposes. I'd like Honorable Lumumba Wade, if there's any change or any amendment.
Madam Chair, I rise to propose an amendment as follows, that clause 2 be amended by inserting a new definition as follows. Agriculture produce means any...
Honorable. We are going, hello, sorry, I'll just guide. We are now in the long title. We haven't moved to any clause. So in the long title, I just read the long title. If there's any change in the long title, then maybe you can do amendment. If there's no change, then you just bow, we just adopt it. Thank you. So Honorable Lumumba, I'll give you time to go through the long title. Then you can give us the go ahead to go on, or we do amendment.
No amendment.
Honorable members, as many of the opinion that the long title remains as it is, say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. And therefore the long title remains as it is. So we'll move on to part 1, which is the preliminary. We have adopted the short title and the interpretation. I think there was an amendment in the interpretation. Honorable Lumumba, you had an amendment in clause 2.
Yeah, clause 2 to be amended by inserting a new definition as follows. Agriculture produce means and produce of agriculture specified in the schedule to this act or as may be prescribed by the CEC member in regulations. Then cess fund means the Kisumu County cess fund established under section 13 of this act for the collection, management and disbursement of cess revenues. Cess Management Committee means the committee established under Section 11 of this Act responsible for the oversight and prioritization of cess-funded projects. Designated point means a location officially published by the County Executive Committee member as a cess collection or monitoring site under this Act. Inspector means a person appointed or designated by the County Executive Committee member or County Revenue Board and duly authorized in writing to monitor compliance with this Act at designated cess collection points, processing plan, or transit barriers, and includes an authorized officer assigned such duties. Offloading fees means charges levied by the county government for the delivery of goods to designated market points within the county, whether or not cess applies. Processing plant means any facility, factory, or premises where agricultural produce is handled, processed, or prepared for market. Transit goods. Transit good means agricultural goods passing through Kisumu County to a different destination outside the county without being offloaded or marketed within the county. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Lumumba, can you call someone to second?
I therefore call Honorable Oraro to second.
Yes, Honorable Calvin Oraro.
Madam Chair, I rise to second the proposal to be added to the bill as read by Honorable Lumumba Owade.
Honorable members, and now that the amendment for clause 2 has been proposed and seconded, I'd like to propose a question, and I propose that this amendment is now open for debate. Silence means there's no debate. So I'll put a question, and I'll put that as many of the opinion that the amendment in clause 2 be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay, and we therefore adopt the amendment on clause 2. We'll move on to clause 3. Honorable Lumumba, is there any amendment in clause 3?
There is amendment in clause 3.
I'll put a question that as many of the opinion that there's no amendment in clause 3 say aye. Sorry, I made a wrong statement. I'd like to propose a question that I'd like to put a question that as many of the opinion that clause 2 be adopt clause 3 be adopted as it is with no amendment say aye, and as many of the contrary opinion say nay, and the ayes have it, and therefore we adopt clause 3 with no amendment. Clause 4, Honorable Lumumba Owade, can you please confirm if you have amendment?
Madam Chair, there is no amendment for clause 4. Proceed.
Honorable members, as proposed by Honorable Lumumba that there's no amendment for clause 4, I'd like to put a question that as many of the opinion that clause 4 remain as it is with no amendment say aye, and as many of the contrary opinion say nay, and the ayes have it, so we have no amendment in clause 4, remains as it is. So we go to clause 5. Honorable Lumumba Owade, can you please confirm if you have any amendment?
Madam Chair, I do have amendment for clause 5. That clause 5 be amended by adding new sections immediately after sub-clause 8 as follows. That is 6, appointment and qualification of inspectors. 1, the County Public Service Board may, in consultation with the County Executive Committee member responsible for finance, appoint inspectors to enforce the provision of this act. 2, a person shall be eligible for appointment as an inspector if the person, 1, holds at least a diploma in agriculture, law, or finance. B, has undergone training in revenue enforcement or regulatory compliance. And C, is of good character and integrity with no prior conviction of a tax-related or integrity offense. 3, the appointment of an inspector shall be gazetted, and their identification and credentials shall be made publicly accessible. 7, powers and duties of inspectors. An inspector appointed under this act shall have the powers to A, inspect agricultural produce at designated points for compliance with cess payment. B, require the production of relevant receipts, books, and documentation. C, issue compliance notices and demand payment or explanations for outstanding cess. And D, enter any processing plant or cess collection point during working hours for inspection. 2, an inspector shall A, maintain an official log of inspections and findings. B, submit monthly reports to the Cess Management Committee. And C, where official identification during duty and act within legal bounds prescribed by this act. Number 8, Madam Chair, the Code of Conduct for Inspectors. 1, the County Executive Committee member shall develop a code of conduct for inspectors, which shall A, define professional behavior and anti-corruption standards. B, prohibit arbitrary detention, harassment, or extortion of producers and traders. And C, set out disciplinary procedures and penalties for breach of conduct. Number 2, the County Executive Committee member shall establish a complainant mechanism to receive grievances from producers, processors, and the public on misconduct by inspectors, and shall initiate disciplinary proceedings against the inspector within 14 days of receipt of any substantiated complaint. That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you for now.
Honorable members and Honorable Mumba, you need a seconder for your proposals.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise again to call Madam Mildred Ajumbo to second.
Honorable Oraro, can you please approach the chair? Uh-huh. Honorable members, we are still on debate of the amendments on clause 5. I'll assume silence means contentment, so I'll put a question, and I'll put that as many of the opinion that the amendment on clause 5 be adopted, say aye, and as many of the contrary opinion say nay, and the ayes have it, and therefore clause 5 clause 5 stands amended as proposed by Honorable Lumumba Wade. Honorable members, we move on to clause 6. Honorable Lumumba Wade, can you please guide us if we have any amendment?
I'd like to have clause 6 of 5, section 5, be amended that the amended by deleting the entire provision and replacing therefore with the following. Section 5. Any agricultural produce destined for final sale within Kisumu County but not produced within the county shall not be subjected to cess but may be subjected to a separate offloading fee as prescribed by the Finance Act, provided that such fee shall not duplicate or substitute cess payable elsewhere under Article 2 or 9, paragraph 5 of the Constitution. Allow me therefore, Madam Chair, to call upon Honorable Nyaoke to second.
Honorable Lumumba, what do you haven't finished? You're still on clause 6. We need to finish.
That's clause 6.5 until now. Okay, fine. Stand correct. Thank you very much. Clause 6. That clause 6 of 6 be amended by A, deleting the entire provision and replacing therefore with the following. The county executive committee member shall, in consultation with stakeholders and the cess management committee, determine and set designated points for the collection of cess within the county. The notice shall include the location, operational hours, and responsible officer at each point. B. Introducing new subclause immediately after clause 6 as follows. 7. The county government shall ensure that all designated points are equipped with appropriate signage, digital receipts, record systems, and are subject to quarterly audit by the county internal audit unit. And 8. Any person aggrieved by the decision or action taken by an authorized officer at a designated point may lodge a complaint with the cess management committee or appeal to the county revenue board, whose decision shall be communicated within 7 days. Madam Chair, Allow me therefore to call Honorable Nyaoke to second.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I stand to second the amendments as read by the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Lumumba Wade.
Honorable members, and now that the amendment on clause 6 has been proposed and seconded, I'd like to propose a question. And I propose that I open these amendments for debate. Honorable members, I'll assume that silence means contentment, so I'll put a question. And I'll put that as many of the opinion that the amendment on clause 6 be adopted, say aye. And as many of the contrary opinion say nay. And the amendment on clause 6 remains amended as proposed by Honorable Lumumba Wade and is now part of the bill. Clause 7, Honorable Lumumba Wade as the proposer.
Madam Chair, I would like to have clause 7 be amended as follows. That the clause be amended as follows. In 7.1, by deleting subclause 1 and replacing therefore with the following. That is 7.1. The proceeds of sales shall, subject to appropriation by the County Assembly, be applied to programs and projects identified in the County Integrated Development Plan, Annual Development Plan, and County Program-based budget relating to the development of road infrastructure in crop-growing areas. B. In 7.2, by introducing the words, at least 70% of such proceeds shall be allocated to rural access, road maintenance and infrastructure within the sugar growing areas, and not more than 20% shall be applied to agricultural extension and research services. Immediately after the words, without prejudice to the generality of the provision of subsection 1, deleting subclause A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, and N. C. Introducing a new subclause 3 and 4 as follows. The CEC member shall publish and disseminate a report of proposed self-funded projects and convene annual stakeholder forums for validation before budget appropriation. 4. The county executive member shall establish a monitoring and evaluation framework for all projects funded under this act and submit quarterly impact report to the county assembly and the sales management committee. That's all, Madam Chair. I therefore call upon Madam Regina Kisito to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise to second the amendments read by Honorable Lumumba Wade. Thank you.
Honorable members, and now that the amendments on clause 7 have been proposed and seconded, and I'd like to propose a question, and I propose that these amendments are now open for debate. Silence, I'll assume silence means contentment. So I'd like to propose a question, to put a question, And I put that as many of the opinion that the amendment on clause 7 be adopted, say aye. And as many of the contrary opinion say nay. And the amendment on clause 7 has been adopted, and therefore they form part of the bill. We move on to clause 8. Honorable Lumumba Wade.
Madam Chair, I would wish that clause 8 be amended by deleting the entire clause and subjecting, therefore, the following. And substituting, therefore, the following. 8. Establishment of the Cess Management Committee. There shall be established a committee to be known as the Kisumu County Cess Management Committee. 2. The committee shall be composed of the following members. A. The county executive member responsible for agriculture, who shall be the chairperson. B. The chief executive responsible for finance. C. The chief officer responsible for agriculture. D. 2 representatives from an association of sugar millers within the county. E. 2 representatives from an association of sugarcane farmers within the county. F. The chief officer responsible for agriculture, who shall be the secretary of the committee and an ex officio member. And G. 1 representative from the Kenya Sugar Board appointed by the board, who shall be a non-voting technical advisor on sugar-related matters. Number 3, the members referred to under subsection 2, D, and E shall be appointed by the county executive member and shall serve for a term of 3 years, renewable once. 4, the appointment of members under subsection 2D and E shall be by notice in the Gazette. That's all, Madam Chair. Again, I call upon Madam Regina to second.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise to second the amendments as read by Honorable Lumumba Wade. Thank you.
Honorable members, and now that the proposals on the amendment on clause 8 have been proposed and seconded, I propose a question, and I propose that these amendments are open for debate. Yes, Honorable Benny Oikopet.
Madam Chair, in the composition of the committee, I think it is an oversight on the secretariat part, because there's a matter we raised and I'm not seeing it captured here. I will refer the House to what is happening in Kenya now between the office of the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice. In the absence of the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice is not allowed to constitute a bench, impel a bench, because the law says it is the Chief Justice that will do it. And the law is not giving room for the deputy to do it in her absence. So I'm asking the county executive committee member responsible for agriculture, who shall be the chairperson. That means in the absence of the executive committee member for agriculture, no one else will chair that meeting. The chief officer responsible for finance will be the one to sit in that meeting. In his or her absent, no junior officer will take charge. The same applies to the chief officer responsible for infrastructure. The same applies to the chief officer responsible for agriculture. I'm pleading with this House to add the word all, the representative, for these government officers, because we know they are very busy people. And in their absence, they must delegate the work to some of their staff. That is what I'm asking, Madam Speaker. And I'm pleading uh, with the speaker had given the leeway that any member of the assembly can support can second a motion in this house. I'm asking Honorable Were to second my proposal so that it will read the county executive committee member responsible for agriculture who shall be the chairperson or his chief officer or any other senior officer in the department. The chief officer responsible for finance or any other senior officer in that department. And that should apply to the chief officer responsible for infrastructure and the chief officer responsible for agriculture. I'm asking Honorable Were to second.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, second. The
An amendment on amendment.
To differ. There is no just for the sake of that. It is
leave it as it